to the Scratticus Academy. It is Eden Day again, so we are back in this bizarre cyberpunk city. Before we jump into anything, please check out all the links that are popping up in chat right now. That includes a big thank you to our wonderful sponsors who we could not do this without. Bird in the Storm and also Mage Hand Press, which Hans is displaying right now. Bird in the Storm, that is, not Mage Hand Press. But otherwise, please go and check those out. Otherwise, let's hop round and let's say hi to everyone, and let's start how we always do. Hi, Hans.
Wait, I know how this works. I just wasn't paying any attention at all. Sorry about that. Hey, I'm Hans. I'm here because Eden is the best place to be right now. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you've never watched this show before, don't worry. It's really smooth. Everything makes sense right away. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm playing Artie Chen. I'm excited to be here.
Family friendly, you could say. No, please don't watch this if you want something that's family friendly. Otherwise, we're going to jump down and say hi to Zelda.
Hi, it's Eden Day. I have not been waiting on the edge of my seat all week to play Eden again. I am clearly lying. I play Vestal. I am a witch, kind of, an adept, and I cast magic and do fun things with that magic. She's pretty cool.
The grandma of the party, was that what we were calling you?
I think so. I think I was mom.
You don't look like a grandma, but you're old enough to be a grandma.
I'm old enough to be a grandmother.
Okay, perfect. Then we're going to hop around and say hello to Heavenly.
Hello, it's me, Heavenly. You probably are thinking, didn't I just see you like 7 hours ago on the same channel? And the answer is yes, you did. I never leave. I was here the whole time.
So accurate. And who are you playing?
I am playing Coil, a robot who may or may not be directly, if not directly, then definitely indirectly, maybe responsible for every bad thing that happened in Eden Season 1. Who knows? The answer is we know, and that it's my fault. Yeah.
New hashtag. Blame Coil.
Blame Coil.
Then we're gonna hop over and say hi to Bree. Hi, Bree.
Hello. I am Bree. I am here just on Wednesdays. I wish I could be here 24/7, or at least as much as Heavenly is, but it's fine. I might move in soon. I heard there's extra cots. I am playing Dot, everyone's favorite pseudo doctor, anger noodle, who always has a plan that no one ever actually listens to, but they always claim is the best idea. So
perfect, thank you. And last but certainly not least, Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee, and I was quite literally just here in the last show where I played a angsty teen superhero. So that's always fun, and I can't wait to see more of that show. But I'm here in Eden now, which I really love, and I'm so nervous about because Scott has been making faces and apologizing to me since I got on a call with him like 4 hours ago now, maybe longer. So it's gonna be a doozy, apparently, and I'm here pretty often, Wednesday nights, double feature, but also we announced last week the production of Eden Fall, which is a podcast audio drama adaptation of this show, the one you're watching right now, and it's going to be fantastic, featuring all the original cast, plus a lot of voices, hopefully from the community. So if you want to check that out, it's on Twitter at EdenFallCast, and I'm so looking forward to producing that, and thanks for all the support that we've seen in the past week. It's been very encouraging and uplifting to all of us, I think. So I play JD, and I have some conversations to have with my bike bestie this week.
So many conversations. This can be a week of conversations, everyone. Last week, everyone jumped in the pit after Soren, who disappeared down this sort of crevasse that opened up in the ground in the middle of this earth tremor, this earthquake. And most people, in fact everyone apart from JD, fell into a pool, a swimming pool, and they soon discovered they were on one of the lower levels of Eden, the ship, the original ship, part of which they normally are familiar with from where they are, but it just shows you the extent of how far Eden stretches. And they found changing rooms. And hang on, who is wearing a NASA onesie or NS? I can't even say it. NASA onesie. Is it just Vestal? Okay.
Oh, I was wearing one.
Oh, you were wearing one. That was it.
Solidarity.
Coil and Vestal were in NASA jumpsuits. Otherwise, the other sides just dry off, and they soon found Soren, who was waterlogged, and with both JD and Artie's help, soon woke up again. But during this, we also discovered a bit more. We discovered who the blonde-haired woman was, and also the very sort of jet black, dark-haired woman, Dawn, and also Telemachus Greenway. And we also had a little flashback for Coil, when Coil was working in the facility, and seemed to be very, very good friends with a very young Adam Watson. An Adam Watson that adored Coil, named Coil, and said no matter what, that they would be okay with what was to come. So, we'll jump back in, down on the lower level of these, of the ship, in Eden, the ship itself. At the main screen, this huge screen where where you have just found Telemachus Greenway's face pop up.
So, what do we do with it? Anybody have any good ideas on how we find her? My daughter has opinions.
Yes, I
Good.
gladly will hear them, because I feel like we could try searching the name. And I'll quickly pull up Jeeves and search for Telemachus Greenway.
You search Telemachus Greenway, and the name Telemachus doesn't come up, really. In fact, well, the name Telemachus Greenway doesn't come up. There are many names of Telemachus, and they all seem to share the same face, as it spans over a wide time over Eden. However, the name Greenway, there's only one very small file of reference of a deceased John Greenway. And he was the creator of the sort of the hospitals, and sort of like the founder of the hospitals. But it's not really mentioned much in your lifetime, but by researching you can see that there is a link to him in the hospitals.
So no Telemachus, but maybe a relation of some kind?
Maybe, I don't know if you can do this, but I know Hans is good at finding things. Hans, do you think you could use her file image on file, see if we can pull something up? Most recent records of the most recent person wearing this face, maybe see if we can get a name on her most recent.
Yeah, maybe a scan.
Yeah, I mean, I can try to scan. I can try to go through the network. I can do my new hack the impossible move and see if we can find anything about Telemachus by face. So that sounds like a character sheet kind of thing. Let me look that up. I think there's some points involved.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 intellect, 1 intellect point.
2. Yeah. Yep. It would normally be 3, but I have an edge of 2, so that's going to cost me 1.
Perfect.
Okay. I am spending a point to hack the impossible and find Telemachus Greenway by face.
Okay. You're using this main computer, and because it is the main Eden computer, you see her files pop up as early as when she was on board the ship as the head science officer and mechanic. Also, you can see many different names. You can see that Jane Doe, but her face pops up all throughout Eden. All throughout Eden's history. You can see she worked jobs in coffee shops as a delivery person, as they seem to be, none of the jobs seem to be big in your face jobs. They seem to be the 9 till 5, and she's everywhere. Most of the time they have good mobility.
Can you say that last line one more time, please?
They seem to all have a lot of mobility. No matter what job she takes, she can move around.
Okay, so Telemachus, I wonder how much she has in common with Adam, because she doesn't seem to take the big positions. Look at this. It's just like that. She's got something where she can move around. She's not going to be noticed.
Well, if she's only here to stop the end of the world, of course she's not going to do anything too noticeable.
Hey, I have a thought. Dot, how did you guys get the idea to set up the clinic and move stuff back and forth from the hospital? Where did that idea come from?
The matron and her, I don't know if she has anything in her files. She founded it.
But it sounds like the same kind of way of operating.
It's true. I can look into it.
I mean, it's a thought, right? You've got that, and then I've got to we've got to figure out maybe the weather systems. I mean, we've got a couple things we can try.
Yeah. Can you try and narrow down Telemachus and try and see what her most recent title was? Maybe an address.
Yeah, sure. Let me push some additional buttons, do some additional finger wiggling.
On the same roll, effectively, you can find that Telemachus wasn't going by the name Telemachus, but she was last seen about a month and a half to 2 months ago. That seems to be the last visual record, and you're getting up like the CCTV, you're getting up just images. These aren't like someone watching her, these are just passing by. She lives in your district. In fact, she lives the floor above.
I'm sorry, is that our district as in our current apartment?
Your current apartment. She moved in 7 months before you did.
Hello, is JD Telemachus?
Our place is Lauren Curtis's old place.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. If she's been doing this multiple times, trying to stop the end of the world, she knew we were eventually going to move there. So she must have moved there in preparation.
So we go back home and go upstairs 1 floor.
And knock on some doors, sounds like.
But is that what we do every time?
I feel like we're going to ask ourselves that question about every single thing that we do.
I feel like
What if you ask that question every time?
I probably do. I'm probably just as paranoid in every single essence of my life. It seems very much so me. But I'm thinking before we make any concrete decisions on where we go, we collect at least 2 different ideas and put it to a vote. That way, I don't know, maybe something will come up, an aha, something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to get lost in my train of sadness. I'm going to get on this computer. I'm going to hook up my communicator to it and see if I can get some access to some files from home. See if I can access any of the matron's logs or the things I have with me. I normally have a tablet, a small tablet, not a fancy arty tablet, but something small for business communication.
Okay, could you roll up a straight intellect for me then, please? You'll need at least a 3 to beat this.
I can do that. No, I can't. Can I use a reroll?
Yes, you can use a reroll.
Shit, can I use effort?
If you roll again, yes.
Yes, no, every time, for the past few sessions, every time I've rolled anything for Dot, it's been like a 0.
Roll20's been really evil this week in general, so
it's got a vendetta against Dot right now. She doesn't want her to be a badass, so I'm trying to like counteract it however I can.
Okay.
So I use my effort. I have a 3.
Yes, that lowers it now. So is it not loaded for me? Yeah, Roll20's gone a bit able for me. So what is it you're actually looking for?
Well, I'm using all of the matron's old technology.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably had Artie make sure there's no tracking software or malignant software, but I mean, personal files. I rely on Artie for everything, like my grandson trying to open Google, like when it comes to all of my technology. Artie, sweetie, can you come over? I forgot how to open up the book face again.
And then, like, once a week, Artie locks himself out of the apartment or does something else just totally ridiculous, and so it evens out.
Right, it does balance. It balances. He like scrapes his knee because he wasn't paying attention. We make up for it. Just personal files. See if she has information on the start of the clinic. Anything that has to do with Dot because she's never looked. Anything that might just give her some answers to the things happening now.
You can pull up a registry of everyone who's worked there, and you can see yourself on there. You can see the year you effectively joined, even though you were probably there for much longer, as you were there from a very young age. You know it was probably tweaked for reasons, and you can see the movement of medical products, and it looks to be, because the matron set this up, it looks like she was the one who came up with the idea effectively from stealing from the hospitals and getting that process going. And you see her start to employ more and more people, including Adam Watson. And they are registered under both the hospital and the clinic. And that from that, you can tell those are the ones that would go backward and forward, especially because you recognize some of them as well.
Does she have any personal, like, memos, notes?
You can see where she trained, which was in the hospital itself. And she trained there from a very young age, along with Artie's dad. Otherwise, she doesn't seem to have left the area. Like, she didn't move. She stayed at the clinic. There is no register of... She left the hospital, she set up the clinic, and that was that.
Does she have any diary entries? Any, dear diary, life has been really stressful at the clinic. I'm raising a bunch of brats. The apocalypse is coming.
There are no diary entries. There is one file, which has that same silver tree just on the folder, and if you open it, it's a photograph effectively, but it's scanned in. But it is an old photograph, and you may have seen this before. It's a picture of her, much younger. She's actually wearing a sort of a smile on her face. There is no silver tree badge. There is nothing on her coat, on her sort of doctor's jacket. And stood next to her as she rests her hand on her shoulder is a very small you in a very oversized doctor's jacket. You're about 9 years old.
And this is under the file with the
It's
tree?
in the file with that. Yeah, the tree itself is just an image.
Hmm.
It's not in the image. It's almost like there are just 2 images saved.
That's gonna take a moment, and she's gonna just really. She's gonna look at that one. She might save that like over to her personal comm, like slide that one over. Yeah, Artie, it doesn't look like anything to do with the matron, though it seems that she did get sentimental somewhere. Nothing
Okay.
better than seeing a childhood me next to a apocalypse fucking Eden tree.
That's interesting.
She's got a, besides the strictly professional work, she has a second file, a separate file with a picture of the Eden tree, a picture of her and I.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. But you said you wanted a couple options, right? So we could go look at the clinic, which doesn't sound like it's going to do anything. Do you recognize that tree? Is that one we've seen before?
It's the tree.
The tree in the old man's house?
Yeah. Well, not specifically there. It just looks like it's like a JPEG. Clip art, maybe?
Okay. So we could go look in the other space station and see if there's any other records, other side of the spaceship, see if we missed any records there. I don't really think that's going to do much. We could talk to the OTC if anybody's still there and try to find out about the weather.
You know what I find interesting, Artie? Father, matron, seemed to grow up, at least in their adult years together. Going to the learning at the hospital together. It's almost funny how we became friends. I say that like it was our choice, but it's nice.
It doesn't really feel like we had much choice in anything overall, right? Yeah. It's possible Bree's frozen.
I think we've lost Bree.
Bree's frozen.
Oh, Bree's back.
Oh, she's back.
Bree's gone. Bree's back. Okay. You're good. You're back.
My internet is not today, and it's because I'm so excited for this.
It knows.
It's more cruel than Alice.
Ooh.
Gotcha, Alice. No, I'm
We
waiting.
were-
You're good at breaking my heart, so what you're going to do is you're going to kill Vestal now that we've got a Dotstal play.
Oh no, why would you say that? Why would you even put that out there?
PC. I've killed 1 PC, and they're back here in this chat, so it doesn't even count.
At least she has the thirst for blood.
Hey, wait, are you saying that Coil is secretly Crowbar in a robot body now, and we just found out through
Why
that?
not? Make a hashtag. All more conspiracies.
I'm just saying I don't think that's water. Okay.
I'm saying nothing.
I rule out the clinic.
Okay, so, I mean, my votes are OTC, or we go back to the apartment and go upstairs.
I guess that'd be 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing holding us here in the blue district. Because 4 hours is a lot of time.
Is there anything we need to learn still from screen care? We said there's so much, like, tip of the iceberg with, as they say. We saw maybe 10%.
Of course, I'm worried that we'll discover more that we need to find out as we go, but I also don't know what to do now. We can't get back in all that easily without,
You've got a
Causing a
coil.
problem.
That's what I'm worried about, is that we've got a coil. And
Congratulations, you're now the proud owner of a coil.
I just don't know. And we have contact information. It's possible we could still host them in our cafe. I mean, I don't love that idea, but I think we still have potential.
Well, we only have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's right. I think it's about weighing our options here. Is what's in screen care gonna help us figure out what's going on here? Find the blonde woman and whatever's going on?
There's one more thing we do have to consider before we go back. We are currently underground. We have not seen what has happened to Eden since everything fell. We don't know what has become of the Blue District. We don't know what has become of our home. I mean, realistically, have any of us called our family members to make sure they've even survived?
I checked my service down here.
El Zilcho.
Yeah.
We also don't exactly know the way out of where we are now.
Yeah, that's definitely a first priority.
That's actually a really good point. Are we in the same spaceship? Because if so, is there any chance it's 4 hours long?
I doubt it.
So
I'm
are there
sure
2
that-
ships?
Well, I'm sure there's probably more than 2 if you think about it. If they were going to start an entire new population, they'd have to send multiple ships.
But they were all in tubes. I mean, little people pack up in tubes pretty well, right?
Chance that each district has their own ship, their own beginning.
Wow.
So we really don't know.
Soren moves. This is the main screen, is it not? With all information. Blueprints.
You know,
An excellent point, Soren.
Soren, the expert of blueprints.
JD just beams because Soren did the blueprints for their cafe. She's multi-talented.
She stands up just a little bit taller if anyone notices at all.
Okay, yeah, we'll look through and try to find blueprints to the ship.
You find them straight away. It's one of the first things on the files. You can see that this is one big ship that has been growing. You can tell almost all the buildings are actually part of the ship. They have grown upwards above the ground.
Almost all of the buildings everywhere on the entire planet?
Yep.
Okay.
Almost all of them.
Can I try and trace the blueprint back to our district?
It looks to be a long network, a long walk or bike ride, as it were, but it's possible. It does look very sort of windy and sort of far more narrow, but it does look possible. Almost like just car tunnels underneath the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we could go back this way, right? Like, it was just a 2-hour flight on bikes. I guess my concern kind of echoes Dots is, what if bikes are destroyed and we can't rent any to get home? We could start trekking, but that would take probably a while on foot.
Look on file and see if there's anything designed for travel here. Look if they have any inventory.
Okay, I start doing that.
Roll me an intellect check, please.
Yeah, I will. Ta-da!
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
On this, you can see they're not up and running. They'd probably have to be tweaked as they're very old. There is a wide range of both elevators, very much like the ones from last season when you came back up, and also what looks like shuttles. In fact, there seems to be quite a large shuttle system under here. Hi, Rado.
Wait, like... Okay, sorry. Can you explain shuttles a bit further, please?
Shuttles as in, like, think of underground trains.
Ah, okay.
That
Not
sort
like
of
space
thing.
shuttles.
No, not space shuttles. This
Got
will not
it.
blast you into orbit. No.
Cool.
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 These look to be like maybe they once connected one lab to another lab over a large distance, but almost as if because the ship has been growing, so have these, being as part of the ship and creating mobility for it.
So the ship is alive.
Yeah, seems about that way. It's growing like, well, like a tree.
And it takes root and grows.
I'm gonna start kind of mapping out a shuttle route home that would get us there quickly.
You can download it easily. This is one of the it's almost like when you're on like a cruise ship and they've got all the maps up everywhere. It's something that is just very, very easy access.
Yeah, and then I'll download that onto my device and mute real fast the sirens.
And you can see the maps laid out very clearly in front of you. You can tell that if you keep walking through one of the labs and down to one of the corridors, there is an elevator that will take you down to this shuttle.
Yeah, that's perfect. If the group's okay with it, I'll lead them that way.
I mean, that might save time. Plus, we don't know what to expect down here.
Even worse, we don't know what to expect up there. If we can make it so we stop at the clinic, I don't know. I'm sure that there's an area near the clinic. We can start down there and make sure we'd get a pretty good understanding about fatalities and move up from there, so that way we're not on a standing building about to crumble.
I mean, there's probably a shuttle that goes straight to the ship that we first found, which isn't too far from the clinic.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to map, was the route home.
You see the lab.
Home base.
You
Our
see that
headquarters.
lab that you first discovered. There are many, in fact. There are hundreds of these labs, but you can hone in on each one. And each lab, sort of with these other connections off to it, very much like the ones that you've seen before, all seem to sort of span out for a district. But JD, you can lead the way.
Yeah. Is it like a thing where you summon the shuttle, or you just hop in when you get there?
You can head through this lab towards the elevator where it says on the map, and the elevator seems to work. It clunks. It's very much a metal box. You don't really see ones like this so much. And it's very clunky on the way down, as more that it hasn't been used in a very long time. And you can almost feel the drop in temperature as you go down further and further, where the doors open and you actually see rock face. And you see where this shuttle is, but it's not on. You can see a control panel, but again, all lights are out.
I'll see if I can get in and get it working.
Okay, could you roll me an intellect check, please?
I can.
Always, if you need some kind of jump start, I'm probably able to do that.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay. So how are you sort of looking to turn it on? Are you just looking at What are you doing?
I mean, I'll look at the control panel first, see like if there's anything like a big red on button. If there's not, I'll start kind of like fiddling with other buttons strategically, and if I need to, I can like crouch down to one of the panels on the side and start looking at the interior.
Yeah, you can see that none of the buttons or the controls or anything are working. You have to remove a panel for this. It looks like just power's been cut off from them. But it's very basic. It's very, very basic compared to what you're used to. So you can very quickly, sort of after fiddling around a bit, trying to work out some of the bits and bobs, you can power it up. And this sort of rocky sort of metal tunnel sort of suddenly doof, as the light turns on, and you see this shuttle sort of sat in this tube. And the shuttle is very, very round, and there are seats on either side. It's very, very basic.
Does it look like I set a route out here, or does it just follow the same track?
This one looks to be that you have to set a route.
Okay,
on your
I'll
map.
set to doing that.
I was going to say there are coordinates on the map, and you can tell from looking at it. You sort of set the coordinates, and then you give it a timer before it starts.
Okay, everybody, load up. Let's head home. But hey, we found a train, so if we need to make it back out here, we can.
If we all survive this, we will have a lot of very important tools to use.
And vacations.
Honestly, let's all just become sewer people. Worst come, we'll take our most prized relatives, we'll just move them to the cellar, we'll start over.
I was thinking we could, like, go visit other parts of Eden. You know, like the ones you've never been to, because it's so far out of reach. No?
Here's your lesson plan.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just planning for the worst case scenario.
Yeah, sewer paper's good too. And JD will get on the shuttle.
Do the rest of you get on the shuttle?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, no. I think I got in before she set it up because I didn't want to miss it. I don't know how it works. She might press a button and just go zooming. I wanted to be on it if it zoomed so we didn't have to walk.
Artie gets on, but now he can't shake the smell from that time that they went in the sewer. And now he's thinking about that.
I follow everyone.
Yeah. Coils, you can follow on. Soren sort of waits by the door, waiting for JD to jump on this shuttle as well. And as you do, the doors close, and you can hear a voice, again, a very robotic sort of voice, come overhead. As all the lights turn on, they flicker a little bit, these long sort of square lights. And he said, estimated time of arrival, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And almost like that, you all feel a jolt as this thing whoosh, like whooshes off, and all you see beside of you is almost like a blur of color. You know, it's the only reason you know it's metal and rock is because of the differentiation in color as you go.
Good. Here's your lesson plan.
Is there anything you would like to discuss or do on this journey, or would you like to just do the journey?
What coordinate did you put in, JD?
I put in our home-based lab in the spaceship. Our headquarters spaceship.
Could anyone else see my memories when I was being plugged in or hacked or whatever happened? No, okay.
Literally just you saw those.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna sit really, really close to Artie. Because I feel like I can sense that Artie is maybe a robot lover. And so I'll feel safe.
I mean, you're not wrong, but JD has like 7 robots, just so we're clear.
Artie the robot, though.
Very much.
Picking up different pheromones from Artie.
Those are fear pheromones.
Fear pheromones.
I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm thinking it's a thing.
You can smell
It's
fear.
a thing now. Yeah, I can. I had to know when all of my charges were going through puberty, so I have a pheromone detector.
Poor Adam Watson.
Don't ever say poor Adam Watson. Okay.
I'm sorry. Sore subject.
Okay. I kind of am standing with my arm around one of like the poles and just waiting to see where Soren sits. I know if Coil sat next to Artie, like
Oh no, this is the complication.
You're making yourself
But I don't like want to drag her away, but also I kind of want a moment to talk to her, so I'm just kind of waiting to see how she reacts to this and what she does.
Soren is stood watching as she came in last, as you did. So, seeing how everyone had already taken a seat, she just sort of stands there by the door as it closed and just watches you hold onto one of the bars. So holds onto one of the bars and just stands there almost awkwardly after watching everyone sit down.
How much space do we have in here? Like, how spread out?
There's a lot. You can even move into another carriage. There are 3 carriages on this.
Dot's not sitting. She's going through shit to see if there's like an overhead or an underhead.
You can see that there is a very open sort of bit where people can store things, which looks like either bags or whatever. In fact, you find a couple of bags up there. They don't have much in them. They look to be more like personal belongings. In fact, you find what looks like a swimming bag, and you find some bits and bobs like that up there. You find, I guess the best way to describe them are study books. And this does look very much like a kid's rucksack.
Does it have any like name? Does it have who the kid's name is?
There is no name on the actual tag, but it is full of just a wide variety of books. It's not like all science, all history, or all anything like that. It seems to be a real mix, and a couple of exercise books. And you find pens. Coloured pens, lots of them, and crayons and things like that. Something maybe you've not even seen before.
Dot's gonna take this bag and she's gonna like, where is Vestal sitting?
I would probably be actually pretty close to you. I'm sticking close.
Well,
There's a tendency for disaster.
Dot's gonna go from looking in this bag to like turn around immediately to face you. I think these things you might find fun.
What is this? And I'll just take.
Books and sticks for writing.
And I'll take out one of the colors. I'll take like just a blue, and I'll open one of the books and just scribble a little bit and see if it still writes.
Yeah, you can see some of the pens. They seem to like maybe need to shake them a few times, but other than that, there's crayons, and they seem absolutely fine.
Well, if we're bored, I'm sure it's going to be a long trip.
There's no colouring book.
There's no coloring book, but that's okay.
Makes me wonder what else we can find, though. Do you want to go look in the other carriages?
Yeah, I mean, there might be something. I mean, there's probably lots of neat things down here.
Yeah, maybe one of them will come in handy. If not, you'll have a lot of old things to collect.
I don't usually collect too many old things anymore, but these...
But if they're really cool...
Of course. And I will actually pocket all of the colored pens.
You can do that. Are you taking the rucksack? This is like a kid-size rucksack.
I will take it and I will put the books back on the shelf up above, and I will I'll put my small bag inside the kid's rucksack and or the backpack and put it over my shoulders.
You can do that.
Cute.
I have a NASA onesie and a tiny kid's backpack.
Baby.
It's the best image. Yeah, and you can, if you keep looking, are you moving into the other carriage? Okay, you can see other bags as well that seem to be either tucked under or left. They look more like maybe someone's either left in a rush or just forgotten them. Nothing looks too disturbed. You find like drawstring bags.
Oh, we have a frozen brie.
We do. What? Oh, yeah,
hello.
Bree's back.
You're back.
I missed everything you said after. It looks like they might have left them behind.
Mostly it was Bree, we love you, come back to us.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's like there's a couple of drawstring bags. Again, they look like sort of varying between child to maybe adult, like young adult, teenager, studying sort of backpacks. You do find a couple of the swimming bags, and you can find NASA onesies in those again as well. And you also find a watch. It's not moving.
What time is it on?
It's on 3 o'clock.
Is that... I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And can I inspect it? Is it like a battery watch?
Yeah,
Or-
it looks to be like a battery watch. It's quite a large face. It's got this really weird sort of... It's like the hands on this are the hands of the character that are on the face of this watch. This really weird sort of like black and white mouse with red trousers on.
I could probably get this working. I mean, not here, but I have a few small tools at home.
That'll be cool. Well, here, let me put it on you, so that way you don't lose it.
I will put out my left wrist and just kind of hold it out.
And then Dot will clasp on this little watch right on Vestal's wrist.
I'm becoming more and more of a child as this goes on.
We are de-aging. We're taking off a few hundred years.
That's so cute.
As you can look around in all of these bags, and again, you find very much the same thing. In fact, you find identical textbooks. There seem to be all the same sort of color. The only different thing is they seem to have like a colored band around the bindings of some of them. And as you read and look through one of these things, you think maybe that just identifies an age group or study groups or something like that.
I'll flip through a book and just, hey, you know, was it something that you did that pulled your communicator off the chart, like off the grid, or was that something else?
When I was in the bathroom, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
No, that was leaving time and space and entering 9 years back in time.
Okay. Okay.
I just blipped out of existence, I guess.
Okay. That was kind of scary. I sent messages to both you and JD, and I mean, JD's came back that it was just no message, but when yours says that there's no receiver at all, like it doesn't exist. I don't know. I was just worried.
I didn't mean to worry you. I am prone to destroying comms, but it was definitely not that. I guess it was all of JD's fault, wasn't it? I'll have to yell at her later for it, but after the world doesn't end, because I can't tell her beforehand.
Right. We can't tell JD why we're getting angry at her. We're getting angry at her right now.
Right, and then she'll cry, and I think I will actually die if JD cries, because it is one of the most terrifying things I experience because I can't fix it. But I don't tell her I said that.
Your secret's safe with me. I just wanted to say that, well, when you came back, you were kind of shaken. Soren was carrying you, and you looked not like yourself. You seem strong all the time, and I don't know. It was different. And I just want to say that if you are holding on to things if you're holding on to things and not telling anyone, it's not good for you. And if you want to talk about it, I'm always here.
Thank you, Vestal. I wasn't raised to be vulnerable. I mean, I was used to seeing gang fights, people dying, bringing them back. It's never close to anyone. It's hard to be vulnerable when you have to be the strong one for everyone. I don't like how scared I got in front of everyone. But, maybe I don't always have to be the scary one. So thank you.
I'm sure it does worry people when that kind of thing happens, but they worry about you because they care. And I worry because I care a lot and don't want to see you get hurt. That's all.
I won't get hurt. Trust me. I won't do anything too stupid because we still all have to get noodles, right?
Right.
Just like with the cake. We had to get the cake. Now we have to get the noodles. We're a family. And she kind of reaches over and presses her hand against Vestal's bicep.
Hey, and we still have that date to look forward to, so... I mean, the dinner. Just dinner.
Dot's face, like you can see it like start from like right here as like red slowly rises up to her face. If it was an anime, you'd hear like steam coming out of her ears. She like looks down. Yes, I still have to take you out to dinner for all of the times you've saved my life and everything else.
So, I can't let you get hurt, or I might not get that dinner. And kind of banking on it.
It is something worth looking forward to. And she squeezes her arm then.
Hello, you're not stop!
Oh, you!
And then you guys check into a hotel, but there's only one room, and the room only has one bed. Oh my gosh, how awkward. And
Or
then
maybe like
coming into town, and you have to
I am.
pretend to be dating. It's so uncomfortable.
maybe the carriage breaks and the door doesn't open.
Right, we get trapped in this room.
Anyone would like to add a complication to the game?
Oh my
Jack,
god,
come
get
on.
your own carriage.
I just want everyone to know in chat that everyone has changed like their Zoom names to JD and Alice and Artie. So, and then
Can't
someone's got
scream,
Hextall.
but we're screaming.
Now I don't know what to do.
Y'all have given.
Maybe we should just lock them in there.
We have
Oh yeah,
So
I'm down with
what
that.
are the others doing in the other carriage, watching them as they've just left to go into the other carriage?
I have sensed the pheromones, and so I.
Every time, Kyle.
So
Checked
good.
into this hotel with one bed, and you think this is going to be an awkward night, and then you hear a knock at the door, and Coyle is there.
And I have a textbook.
Oh my.
Just pressed against the glass. I sense pheromone.
You know, guys, we should really be thinking about how much weirder season 2 of Edenfall is going to be at this rate.
Just think about how early you lost me in
6.
season 1.
Yeah.
We're
So,
good.
I want to turn to Artie. After it's been like a couple of minutes of silence, like maybe uncomfortable. I definitely feel uncomfortable, but I don't know that I would register that feeling as uncomfortable. I'm gonna say, Artie, I have a question for you.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever made a mistake?
Oh, yeah, I do that. I do that a lot.
What is the worst mistake you have ever made?
I let Adam Watson go, and he killed my dad.
Ooh.
And then a lot of other people.
Robot version of oof. F in the chat. Just an F pops up on her.
Just a lowercase f just flashes on my screen.
So much for that serious moment. Okay.
I think at this point, JD is kind of like, okay, wait, are there 2 doors into other shuttles? So if Dot and Vestal went one way.
Yeah, no, there's 2 doors either end, and you've just watched Coyle and Artie have the most awkward interaction
Oh,
possible.
it's incredibly awkward, and I'm gonna kind of say, hey, I'm gonna go check the other direction. Soren! You wanna come with me?
And she looks at you, looks at Vestal and Dot, who have left, and then also towards Coyle and Artie. Where?
I was gonna go into the other carriage and just see what's in there.
Of course, I will assist. And she sort of just lets go, and you actually see some fingerprints molded into this bar as she lets go and starts to walk.
Okay, I turn around to Artie and I wink.
Good. Here's your lesson plan.
And then I follow Soren into the other carriage.
Artie's trying to figure out what he's supposed to do with Coyle while JD's gone.
They both sat there just What do you do? What do you both do as literally the party splits into these carriages?
So, Coil, I wanted to say earlier, I'm sorry that I was really, really upset about the whole knocking Samantha out thing. I think we have the exact opposite programming. I don't do anything impulsive or violent at all, and I mean, you're just trying to protect people. I understand that.
What I did was a mistake.
Yeah, like I said, I understand. I get that. I was really harsh about it earlier. I'm sorry.
Is it possible that sometimes we make mistakes and we can become better people because of it?
You know, if you ask JD, yeah, absolutely.
Is it possible that sometimes we make mistakes and there's nothing we can do to fix what we have done?
Yeah, if you ask Dot, absolutely.
They can't both be right.
No, they tell me they're both right.
Artie,
Yeah.
you let Adam Watson go and he killed your father. But it wasn't
Right.
your fault to begin with. That wasn't your mistake.
Yeah, but I was angry at my dad at the time, and I let him go, and I thought I was doing something, and I was doing something different.
You are only living the consequences of someone else's mistake. Do you think a mistake
That's-
like that could ever be forgiven?
By me or by someone else?
By you? Could you forgive someone who made that mistake?
Yeah, I mean, we had that choice at the end. I wasn't going to kill anybody. That's part of why it's kind of important to me how you were acting, because we all had to make that choice about whether or not we were going to let people live.
I see. Living was the mistake. Letting Adam live was the mistake.
I don't know. I mean, if you have to count people up, yeah, it was the wrong choice, but is it a better choice for me to go around immediately? Like, I thought the hospital was bad. I thought my dad was getting people sick. I thought Adam Watson was just a guy who worked at a hospital. I could have held him down. I could have stopped him, but my dad was acting crazy. And I was really concerned that that was something that was bad. And I thought he needed the help.
If you knew everything that would happen for not killing Adam Watson, would you go back and change it if you could?
I mean, it's really hard because there's a lot of stuff that he did, Adam Watson did. I mean, a lot of people died and a lot of things fundamentally changed. But I mean, we're talking about him like he's the only problem, but he wasn't the only problem. There was some sort of conspiracy at the hospital and the clinic that was allowing him to do what he did. So, I mean, as much as I want to hate just him, he's not the one who did everything.
The women who came to visit him, do you blame them?
I mean, we don't know enough about that yet. I just found out about that a few minutes ago. It seems like a few hours ago, maybe, but you know, it's not been that long. We've been blaming the people that we know about for a while, and now there's even more.
Do they know, remind me, that I let Adam escape all of that when I first found out of the clinic?
I think that's directed at you, Alice.
I was muted. Sorry, I did
like,
reply.
she's
I don't
thinking.
think you told.
I don't think I did either. Okay.
They know that you've interacted because they've seen.
Right. They know that I was his keeper
Yes.
and that I was deemed
you malfunctioned.
My malfunction. Okay, but they don't know that I let him go. Or that I was instrumental in his escape. Thank you, Artie. Your perspective on things is helpful. I don't see how all of you can be right, so I imagine that 2 of you must be wrong. I will think on this and decide which one of you makes the most sense.
Okay, let me know when you figure that out.
You both stop and stare forwards awkwardly in the silence.
That was my plan, yes.
No, I can make it more awkward. Artie.
Yeah, Coil.
That was
I didn't mean to overhear, but I was present when you expressed feelings for Soren. That is very interesting. Tell me, what does that look like? A relationship between a human and a robot. I am a robot and you are a human.
That's true, yeah. I don't know what that looks like. I don't even know what it looks like when 2 humans have a relationship.
I know what that looks like.
Okay. I don't have a lot of experience with people in general.
I don't want that to be canon. That's not what I meant. Take it back. Put it back.
I don't know how people, interact, to be frank. I mean,
If you do not know what it would look like, why would you express your feelings so strongly for Soren?
It's a really good point. But I mean, I'm going to stick with it. Coil, I mean, you're the one who just said a second ago, 2 of us are going to be wrong. I really don't know what I'm right about. I feel like I just have to keep making choices and trying to figure things out.
Even though sometimes you make choices that are very, very wrong.
Yeah, very wrong.
Trust that you'll make the right choice eventually.
I don't so much trust it. I guess I don't want to stop trying.
Oh, hi, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders.
Raiders.
Thank you, Artie. I have much to reflect on. I will now turn my screen off. I've had much happen in what you claim has only been a few minutes, but feels like a very long time. I would like to rest.
That sounds good. Do you need to find a charging port or anything like that?
No, I have plenty of power. I'm going into airplane mode. I'm going into spaceship mode.
Great. I'm just going to look straight ahead this whole time.
I power down before he's even finished. I'm just like...
I do too.
Looks like we got a new
Both of you out. Okay, JD, you stand in this other thing. The door is currently open unless you shut it.
Oh, I shut it, and the second that I shut it, I turn around to Soren and say, Artie Chen likes you?
There's actually a sound of a clearing of the throat. I believe that is correct.
Yeah, he told me. I've been dying to talk to you about it, but other people were around. Like, told me right before we rebooted you.
Is that why you were laughing and distressed earlier?
It was the laughing part, yeah. The crying part was just because I was worried about you. You know, I don't know what I would do without you, but, tell me more! What happened? You went to go get noodles. You said you remembered everything. What happened?
We dropped them.
What happened with you and Artie?
He expressed he liked me. Then we bought noodles. and dropped them.
Well, do you like him?
I like I like you. Is there a different kind of like?
Yeah. Yeah, so like there's the kind of like where you like noodles and they taste good and you want to be around them, but it's just a normal kind of noodle like. Then there's the other kind of like, which is, you know, some of those romantic comedies we've watched on our roommate movie nights?
I do.
There's another kind of like that starts leading to relationships like you see in those movies, where two people end up committing to be in each other's lives forever because they truly, deeply care about each other.
Sorry, Bri is just ruining the Zoom chat.
Just close out of it for right now.
And Soren looks at you. We did hold hands like they did in the film.
Okay, and do you... Okay, so you think of me differently than you do Dot, right?
You are my longest friend.
Yeah, right? We're best friends. That's not gonna change or go anywhere. You're my best friend. And Dot's one of my dearest, closest friends, like basically family. But she can't beat you. Now think about the way you feel or think or process Artie. Is it different from how you process me?
And she pauses and she actually sits down because you see she's been wobbling from side to side as on this being on this shuttle. And she sits. It is different, but it's not like the films. They are human.
Okay, I have one more question. Is the way you process Artie different from the way you feel about Dot?
Correct. I don't understand. In fact, I haven't understood a lot lately.
That's okay. JD's gonna go and sit like across the way from her on one of the other chairs and just kind of lean forward. I guess I want to know where you stand.
She stands
so
up.
much. No, oh sorry. You can sit. So much has changed in the past year.
I wanted to drink tea with him.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
That's why we put in this. And she just gestures to like a welding where you put it in. And she leans forward herself, almost mimicking how you're doing it. I don't understand. I think I am experiencing malfunctions, and I don't understand.
Soren, I don't think it's malfunctioning. I think you're upgrading.
But you didn't do anything.
No. It's I think it's part of how you were built initially, and partly from what all's happened to us in this past year. The Wismos may have had something to do with it, and gosh, even Eden itself might have something to do with it, but I think your software is getting more advanced. You're getting more advanced. It's okay that you're not human, but I think you may be more human than any other robot in our family.
And you hear that whir as she tilts her head again. Those films we watched. And she sort of stops for a second, as if she's started the sentence much later. You helped me drink tea. I have a request.
Okay.
And again, she sort of looks down almost like she's embarrassed. Like she looks as if she doesn't want to ask you for a moment. I have hugged you. I have hugged Artie. And there is one thing I don't have.
Yeah?
And she stands up and offers her hand to help you stand up as well.
Okay.
And
Stand up.
she takes your hand and puts it over her chest, and then puts her hand on yours.
Oh.
There is no beat. Heavenly is ruining this.
I'm telling you, for all serious moments, we have to close out of Zoom chat.
You gotta close the Zoom chat
can't
when it's
close
serious
it
because
out.
that's how we process what's happening.
I can't look at the Zoom chat. I was trying to ignore it this whole time.
What I'm saying right now is, everyone, if you're not a Patreon of Scratticus Academy, please do it now, because you do actually get access to our chats
At the $5 tier.
at the $5 tier. So,
Worth it.
How come nobody told me this the last 2 weeks? That I should have just turned off the Zoom chat. Nobody gave me that insider
I
tip.
didn't think of that either.
Just serious moment, turn off the Zoom chat, bring it back up.
catch up when you're done.
She's like, I do not have a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah,
They say in the films it beats faster when you more than like someone. So therefore, I can't.
okay.
But I want one.
Yeah. JD's head is already like spinning with ways to make this possible. And I think like it's taking her down trains that are way far away from this conversation. So she just kind of says, yeah,
Is
I'll-
that a problem?
no, it's not a problem. I'm gonna think about how to make it happen. Soon, yeah?
I'm not good at talking. Can you teach me more with that too? And you hear her voice is almost becoming smoother more human.
Yeah, we can talk more. I'm happy to talk to you, and I'm happy when you talk to me. Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's make it happen.
I like Soartie. And that's just all she says, and she just stops and stands upright.
Yeah. That makes me happy.
I think I am happy too. But I am also confused.
That's okay. I think that's completely okay. I don't think none of this makes sense ever. I don't think it's supposed to.
And she just nods, sort of a juttering nod, as almost if it's, again, hesitant. I may need some help.
Okay. Whatever you need.
Thank you. And she sort of pulls you in for a hug. It's a really clunky hug, but you've had this hug before.
Yeah, I hug her back. I love these moments.
And
my bike couldn't hug me a year ago.
yeah, now your bike can hug you. But now we'll hop back over to Dot and Vestal. What are you doing? Are you still looking through the bags?
Are there still bags to look through?
You've sort of seen most of them, and you can see that they're all very much the same.
Hmm?
It seems like there's nothing much else to find here. But I'm kind of enjoying peace, you know?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And it's not going to last. The second this stops moving, we are going to be in a whirlwind again.
Yeah. But that's then. And this is now. And you know, there's the saying, enjoy the little things. I think the peace and quiet right now is one of those things.
That's true. And if this is the last time I ever get peace and quiet, I'm glad I got to spend it with you, Vestal.
I will take Dot's hand and just sit on the whatever tram seats are there. Scrat, I swear to God.
I have the chat closed, but now I have to look.
That's not what you need.
Oh no. What?
I have it closed and I'm not looking. Yeah, I'll just take her hand and just sit on one of the seats and sit. We have time, and standing is tiring. We're gonna be standing and probably running and a lot of other things soon.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you'll have to power leap onto a moving car again.
I am known to do that, aren't I? I only did it once, and I'm known to do it.
It was probably the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen anyone do. Because I didn't even know you very well when that happened. We were still just getting to know each other. And you just power leaped onto a moving car. and then wrote it on the top of said moving car.
I do remember you kicking the crap out of Adam in that car too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We've done some cool things. Hold on, what is I know, I made the mistake of checking. I keep getting these notifications. Sorry, I'm gonna go back.
I can see all the notifications and I hate it.
It's flashing. It's you guys are terrible. Sit on your hands.
How does it feel, Bree?
I did nothing wrong. Dot's done nothing wrong. Bree's done nothing wrong. Make those both hashtags.
Also, excuse me. Come, we haven't slept in a while. I mean, at least I haven't. You want to just sit and I may fall asleep, but comfortably.
That sounds nice. And Dot will sit down, holding Vestal's hand, and kind of lean sideways on the chair, kind of facing her, chest forward. She'll offer a place for Vestal to rest her head.
I am, leaning forward. I am resting. I'm falling asleep.
And there's that part of Dot that I did just open the Roll20, guys, and now I'm gonna exit back out because my internet can't handle it. Dot is going to kind of freeze, like clench up, because she expected this to happen, but also didn't expect it to happen, like that Vestal would actually rest her head on her chest, and trying to calm down the beating heart that Soartie doesn't have, but she very much so does. Awkwardly, will just kind of put her hand on Vestal's hair and then slowly kind of just pet it as Vestal falls asleep.
Good. Here's your lesson plan.
This goddamn music. I am turning off Roll20 music.
I have Roll20 turned. I just exited out of Roll20.
Goodbye. That's going.
I am turning it off now. However, JD and Soren, do you walk? Why am I asking? I'm part of that. Do we walk back into the main carriage?
Yeah, I think if we feel comfortable with where it's at, I'm like, okay, I wanted to talk to you when no one else is around, but we can go back there if you want to, check on them.
Check on them. Are they unsafe?
No, but you seemed a little tense when we left Artie with Coil, and so we can go.
I don't understand why.
Yeah, I think that's jealousy. Pretty basic stuff. We'll talk. And then JD will open the door.
And Coil, are you still booted down right now? And is Artie asleep?
I'm just in rest mode. I'm like, I can hear stuff. I'm like when you turn your PlayStation into, the low power mode so you can still download stuff, but you're just not using active power. That's what I'm doing.
And Soren walks over and stands back, like where her pole was, and literally her fingertips fit into the dents on the pole.
I forgot to mention that I kind of like fell asleep with like my hand like just kind of like really close to Artie, like because I just kind of like went like this, and so like maybe my hand is like touching his knee. I don't know. My hand just kind of felt.
Always trying to wind up that moment. And what about Artie? Is Artie asleep or?
No, Artie's awake and making this face because he doesn't want to move Coil's killer knife hand, but doesn't really want it on his knee either.
And Soren looks to JD and then looks down the corridor towards where Dot and Vestal are. They are resting. We have approximately 45 minutes remaining. Perhaps you should rest. Both of you. I can keep watch.
Can we see Dot and Vestal?
Yeah. There's the glass.
JD like looks through the window and is like, what is happening? The world starts ending and everyone starts getting together.
It's just you and Coil left.
Listen, Coil's very intrigued by this whole human-robot thing, so...
Coil will get you a heart.
Coil's out here looking for some romance.
Artie can't get up to go look because he has this robot hand on his knee.
It's done, Vestal.
And Soren, her arm extends
Probably just tired.
a little bit and she leans to look.
And Donna is awake. You can see her hand moving, just very slightly. She hasn't gone to sleep. She's just chilling there, but she's not looking in your direction. She a big awake.
And then
It's so cute.
Soren looks at JD, confused, briefly at Artie and quickly skips to Coil and back to JD. Should we? No. And she sort of pauses and just leaves and sort of rests back in this upright standing position.
Okay, JD will settle in and rest, but it takes her a while because she's smiling like a goofball and she can't, like, she has to keep reminding herself to, like, stop smiling like a goofball so that she can rest her face and get a quick nap in.
And you can doze off. And if you all doze off or if you stay awake or just rest, Soren stands very much to attention. Every now and then she walks up and down the carriage. She looks into the carriage where Vestal and Dot are to make sure that there's nothing else in there, just checking. And she'll lap the 3 corridors. And even if Dot doesn't sleep, Soren will just blankly walk straight past you, look out one end of the carriage and then walk back past you as well. We'll pause. And Dot, are you awake? And looks down at both.
Pointedly not making eye contact in that direction. Like, anytime that Soren comes near, she'll just kind of, like, look away. Like, you see nothing. If I don't see you, you don't see me. We're not discussing this. This isn't the thing to discuss. Don't want to have this robo conversation.
Soren literally glances at you, not at you in the face. You know that glance where it's almost like she's reading life signs, like breathing, heart rate, temperature, everything like that. And she pauses, looks away, starts walking again. You look comfortable. And she walks out and closes the door.
Dot makes a small, like, noise. Like, don't look at me, I'm vulnerable. Don't look at me while I'm vulnerable.
And Soren just laps. 3 carriages. And it seems to get bumpier and bumpier, just like when the old trains sort of sway side to side, as you can hear almost like a screech of brakes. Because this is going fast, and you can feel it just gradually slowing down. And Soren, first of all, goes over to Artie and Coil. We are nearly at our destination. You should probably wake now. And then sort of walks over to JD, does the same. And then walks into the next carriage. Doesn't quite go in, just bangs on the door. just raps on the door until Dot. And if Dot doesn't look at her, she'll keep going.
Dot will like put her hand up really quick. The first time she does it, she'll jump a little and put her hand up. And then
you hear that sort of muffled, "We are arriving."
Dot will like gently kind of pat Vestal's head and kind of gently shake her shoulder and be like, "All right. Wakey, wakey. It's time."
You're muted, Vestal.
Did. Thank you. We're here already?
Okay, if Alice leaves, we get to talk about stuff we like and just kind of like go crazy for a little bit.
Oh, but also I want more food, and I never like stepping away from this game, even for a second. So, keep talking, I can hear you.
So, Heavenly, what are your thoughts on this whole Dotstal situation?
I'm a big fan of it. So here are some of my initial thoughts, things that we can do as players to help really kind of bring this moment out.
Is it boobs? Because you always say boobs first.
Hear me out. Okay, we get back to the apartment. Oh no, what's happened? There's been some type of roach infestation. We all have to leave the apartment. Like, we can't really stay there anymore. We'll all go stay at Crowbar's place. And JD will come with me to Crowbar's place to look for parts. And then Soren and will also come, and then you will come also. So we'll all go to Crowbar's place, but there's not enough room because Crowbar had a very small apartment. So what are Vestal and Dot gonna do? Well, luckily for them, Coil has a coupon. And it is for...
I don't know what I've just
right there. You stop right there.
She's only on chapter 1 of her fanfic. We need to let her keep going here.
Please
This is just a summary. This is just a summary. Coil has a coupon for Jack Snack Shack, which is, yes, it's one of those places that have the beds that you put in the quarter and they vibrate. But this is the future, so they're very clean. So Zach Snack Shack is actually like a very well-known, reputable business. And Coil got these coupons, like it was like a Groupon type of deal. And it cost her like quite a lot of money, okay? But they're not going to bring it up because they were planning on using it just for whatever reasons. That's not important, but they really want you to have it. So anyways, everyone's going to Crowbar's place. There's not enough room because it's a small apartment and also because you weren't invited. And so you guys go to Zach Snack Shack. And when you walk in, there are, first of all, unlimited snacks. That's actually where the snack part comes in. There's a full snack bar. And also the beds that you put in the quarters and they vibrate. And cable. And you...
Okay, is this a place you worked at before? Or is this something that you're trying to kick starting? Where is this going?
Looking up Zach Snack Shack.
Yeah.
It's a local business. Well, what do you know? And it's
Don't worry, Heavenly, I won't dox you. It's the thing.
You just find the photo and it's just a photo of me and it's like, come to Zach Snack Shack.
But like the picture's kind of blurry because you're on a vibrating bed.
Sure, let's take another one.
It's just the bed is also turning, so I'm just like, come to Zach Snack Shack.
Is it like the Austin Powers one? But just...
Oh, they do blooming onions and pulled pork nachos.
Bryce, hold your bag.
we will wait for Brie and Renee. Oh, Renee can hear.
I think that she has set up her camera specifically for that moment. She wants that long distance walk up shot.
Renee.
You know, asking Heavenly for her opinion was the right choice, I gotta say. I didn't have anything planned for that at all. That was very good.
You know that in a lot of detail, Heavenly.
This has been going on in our Discord chat for like a week. There's been a lot to get ready for this.
Look, they've even got like cyberpunk lights on
Oh
their...
my god, Zach Snack is... Yeah.
Of course it would be real because it makes sense. Where is it? I feel like we've just given them so much publicity.
I told you, I'm not doxing you.
They serve. What do they serve? They serve
Funnel
stuffed
cakes.
ice cream, lemon shake-ups. Where's funnel cakes? What's a funnel cake?
I swore you were really into the bit, but man,
Like, I'm sorry. What's a funnel cake? It's like a it's a
Like
really
a dough.
Yeah.
Like
So
thin dough. Yeah.
you use a funnel and you pour it in there, so it's like an elephant ear. Have you heard of those before?
okay, but nobody mentions the fact that it's like a trailer.
Yeah.
It's like a food truck, basically.
It's a shack. It's a literal shack.
I don't know where the
With
bed is, and I'm
wheels.
afraid.
Yes.
But
It's
that's
like-
where you want Vestal and Dot to go.
I think there is an aerial on top as well, so you would have cable.
There are so many places where, like, think about it. There's so many places where Dot and Vestal could go, like the private office in the clinic.
No, I have coupons to Zach's Snack Shack.
Yeah, there was a Groupon.
Oh, the
There's a
coupon.
Groupon.
Oh, Christ alive.
That is the best sign.
You're welcome.
Right.
Okay.
So back to actual Dot and Vestal, who are waking up gently, quietly in a bed that isn't vibrating, but
With
rather,
a doof 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 from the window, yeah.
yeah, Dot will gently wake up Vestal. Just, we're here. Time for the crazy.
I didn't think I was gonna fall asleep that fast.
Oh.
Thank you for waking me up. Are we almost there?
We're slowing down now. If you don't sit up soon, though, Soren is going to hit the glass again.
She does.
I just put my arm up like I am
We're-
here and I
We're
am
both
alive.
just waiting.
Life signs are present. Thank you
She
so-
can read them. She knows they're there, but she's like, they are awake. She looks back at the rest of you.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I
has
guess-
Coil moved her hand yet? Their hand yet?
Yeah, I've turned back on.
Have you been sat rigid the entire time?
Yes.
And as you do, you can see as sort of
It's not just me this time, right? She's frozen.
No.
our
It's
DM.
Alice's time. Hey, Alice.
hi.
Hello.
As Dot and Vestal start, waving to let them know that everyone's woken up, the shuttle comes to a halt, and you feel that sort of you feel that lurch as you all rock to the side as it comes to a stop, and the door opens. Shall we?
This is our stop. Now we just have to decide what our next stop is.
And it is that same sort of rock and metal again, but you can see an elevator.
Okay, yeah, I'll shrug and lead the way again and go to that.
Sorum will wait till everyone leaves. And this, I'm assuming Dot and Vestal get off last because they're in the other carriage.
Yeah, and I want a little bit of JD buffer. I want a little bit of JD buffer because I don't want the eye contact right now. Dot can't emotionally handle it. She was just vulnerable. She can't handle anyone else commenting on it right now. So she does let JD get a little bit ahead before she gets on the elevator.
Soren steps out of the shuttle doorway as it closes. And you all can walk into this elevator. There is no elevator music, but
Good.
it's quite close. It's all because there's quite a few of you in there now as you all stand. And it's an awkward silence as it sort of starts moving up and up.
Dot is going to break that silence She puts on her mask, which I don't know where it is in my boxes right now, so I'm not going to put it on physically, but we're going to get out. I'm going to head into the clinic. While I do that, JD, call your mother. Artie,
Yeah.
call your mother.
Yeah.
We'll get a plan. We can make whatever detour we need to make sure family is okay before we head back to our apartment.
Artie, it's up to you if you want to ask your mom about us visiting the OTC.
I mean, if I get any response at all, I mean, we need to figure out what's going on, and they may know something about all this.
Yeah, okay.
And as soon as that elevator door opens, it's almost like signal suddenly comes back. And you are in the room where you found the original screen, but you seem to be further behind it, a bit you didn't see before. And Soren steps out rather confidently and just walks. And you're back in that room that you know. You step out into this room that is made of that sort of old, faded metal. It's got sort of like a red paint tinge to it. There's a single bed. There's a small toolkit. There's some posters on the wall that have this person called Frank Sinatra on them, and some other bits all over it as Soren leaves the room and walks out.
So we've been basically staying here for a whole year now, and we didn't realize the walls moved.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we searched this room when we came down here, and we never saw... And I mean, we crashed down here one night.
I definitely scanned this room.
Who's crashing here now?
Is there any dust on anything? Or signs of time being?
This is sort of, it looks like it's been well lived in, but not necessarily like regularly. It's not. There's like little toolkits, there's some other bits and bobs in there. You see a leather jacket, very much like the one you saw in the photos of Telemachus wearing.
Does the leather jacket remind me of JD's leather jacket? Future JD.
No.
JD will go over though and kind of like poke around and see like if there's anything identifying beyond like the leather jacket and Frank Sinatra poster.
Okay, roll me an intellect check, please.
Sure, can do that. I'm here, roll 20.
I swear all you've done is really roll like nat 20s today. You can look around this room, you can really dig around this room, and it looks that maybe someone hasn't been here in a month or so, something like that. You can see a lot of tools, a lot of very old, very just sort of what you would probably consider useless torches, because all they are used for is for lighting something up. There's nothing else that you can use it for. It is specifically for what looks like small objects and small bits and bobs like that. You can see a cap, like just on the end of the bed, what looks like a second pair of boots, and a picture frame on the bedside table of Telemachus. And she's not in her usual gear. In fact, you probably wouldn't recognize it, but it's like a graduation gown. And she stood there with two people that look very unlike her, but they look very happy, and it looks to be her graduation day. And it looks very faded and well-traveled.
Okay, I mean, it stands to reason, right? If Telemachus moved in a floor above us to be near us before the world ended, that maybe she was here too?
You can also hear a whir and a clink.
Where?
The toolbox starts to move. It's almost like there's a level on top of it and something is trying to get out of it.
We have RT, right? He can't
Yeah,
be in
RT
that
pops up like
possible.
on Soren's shoulder.
Dot's gonna reach over slowly and move it.
As you move it, you see two lights blink up at you as this very bright, almost very rounded tub-like Wizmo with a little sort of tiny head that pops up and blinks at you. These two arms, one of them looks a bit like a spanner and one of them looks a bit like a screwdriver. And it seems to have one wheel as a leg. And it blinks at you. And it takes what looks like to be a screw or something and throws it at you.
Hey.
I'm gonna pick it up and throw it right back.
Hey.
As you do, it starts picking stuff up and throwing it at you out of this
Hey
toolbox.
now.
And in this moment, Dot just starts like looking for large objects and holds it up. As soon as okay, now she like pauses. I am not going to lose a fight with a small robot, especially one that's probably been spying on us while we sleep.
Hey, I'm gonna talk to it. Just hold on.
I don't want to adopt this one. She puts it down.
If we do, don't call it Artie. That's been really confusing.
Well, I'll call it JD.
We're gonna call it RD with a D instead of a T. RD.
Really?
It sort of spins.
I do love that. I kneel down next to this one and I'm just like, hey.
And it sort of pauses as it looks like it's picking up a spanner to throw at Dot.
I know. I'm JD.
And it
Have you
drops
been here
it.
a long time?
And it whirs and it sort of clinks. And you see RT jump off of Soren and roll down the side of Soren towards you. And could you roll me an intellect check, please? Just see how much you understand.
I can
Just
talk
no.
to robots.
You can.
Oh,
No, you
how is that?
Oh, well.
I know I have a reroll.
I have a reroll though.
Yeah, you can.
Someone can. Do you want to use yours or do you want mine?
I'll use mine. I have one, and I feel like this is something JD is good at, so I kind of want to.
Yeah, oh my god.
Instead.
It's all or nothing.
There we go.
Yeah, as she it sort of bleeps and sort of whirs and clanks, and it's like the rocking motion, as it can only move on one wheel. This thing sort of like rocks up towards you, and it starts making chirping noises. What are you asking it?
I ask it how long it's been here. First.
You get across to it, it's sort of it's years, but it holds up. It sort of goes to hold up its hands and then realizes it's got a spanner and screwdriver and starts running back over to the toolbox and starts counting out screws.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And I'll go and grab the photo while it's counting out screws and point to Telemachus and say, does this person come here?
As you hold this out, its eyes brighten up again and it wheels over to the picture frame and throws its alarms around it. And then tries to pull it off you at the same time.
Oh, okay. I'll give it to him. That's fine. Okay. Do you know where that person is? Telemachus?
And there's sort of an archway in its eyes where it looks like almost like windscreen wipers, but it almost makes it look a little bit sad, and it shakes its head, and it points at the toolbox, jumps over in it, and picks up the lid and starts putting it on its head to sort of show you what happened to it.
I turn around to my group. Are you getting this?
RT whizzes over and stands opposite this other Wizmo, and they seem to exchange this like bleeping and bopping and these just odd sounds, and they both sort of almost have a conversation, turn, and then look at you waiting for more questions. They seem to know each other.
I that's my next question is, do you two know each other?
And they both put an arm out towards each other.
Do you want to stay here?
And this new Wizmo looks briefly over at RT, takes the picture frame, and then holds on to the little RT.
Oh.
My Wizmo family! Come back to me, my Wizmo family!
More slipper stealers.
More
Great.
slipper stealers! Yes. I am going to adopt this Wizmo.
You
As
may.
if any of you had any questions. Okay, we're gonna find Telemachus. We're gonna try, at least.
And both Wizmos blink at you as you say this. And they both sort of hop off of this bed that was on the toolkit and whiz back over, and they both sort of, one of them on wheels, one of them by climbing, sits back on Soren.
Okay. Let's go then. And I count out the screws really fast just to see how long it said it was here.
You can, from looking at it, it's a bit off, but you sort of estimate maybe it was counting in weeks, so you sort of round it up and it comes to about 2 months.
Okay.
Roughly the same time that the computer told you that Telemachus had gone missing.
Okay. Then I am appropriately satisfied with my new Wizmo friend.
And Soren starts to leave the room back out into the main bit that you know very well.
Well, if we'd like to get on with our adventure, let's get up there. Gotta make sure everything is still there.
Before we go back up there, I think I should probably take the jumpsuit off, and so should you, Coil.
Why? I like my jumpsuit. It is a nice color.
It is a nice color, but it also has the big NASA letters on it. And we probably don't want people up there catching on to that.
But Vestal, your clothes were wet. You don't have anything on underneath.
I have something on underneath, thank you, and I did bring my old clothes.
I mean, you should
Coil
have something.
throws the clothes in the trash. No, you didn't.
Dot is going to go look in a pile of probably like dirty laundry or leftover clothes from various sleepovers. And just
Dot, you are wearing layers. You could share some of what you are wearing with Vestal, since you insisted on keeping all of your original clothes. Give Vestal your shirt.
Coil.
I lost that. I didn't know what you said because the internet froze. Sorry, couldn't hear ya. Dot's gonna start pulling out everything that just looks like the one shade of gray that is very much so Vestal. And she's just gonna start chucking out clothes from like the pile of clothes. She's like, what about this? Or this? Or this?
Yes, that won't fit me. Yeah, I could try that. And I'll just have like a bundle of clothes, and I'm gonna find somewhere where I can change out of the blue onesie, basically.
You know this place. This is where you remember where the sort of the dormitories were. There's also the kitchen and everything like that. This is back in effectively the part of the Eden ship that you have all kind of in a way made a second home.
I will put on anything wet that I didn't collect from Dot and put on whatever dry stuff that Dot gave me. Stop. Coil, if you're gonna wear that jumpsuit, you should probably put at least like a jacket over the symbol or something.
No, I will remove the jumpsuit. I don't need to wear clothes. I do not have skin and am not afflicted by the elements.
Coil, think of it like this. If you leave it down here, we can always come back and put it on for movie night.
This makes sense. And I'm going to take my jumpsuit off and I'm going to fold it really nicely. And then I'm going to go find where Vestal put her jumpsuit and I'm going to fold it really nicely as well. And then I'm going to fold all of the clothes that they threw on the ground.
While you're doing that, Dot is walking up very stressed to the clinic, buttoning up her little lab jacket, mask on. She's already given them they already know what she's off to do, so she's just kind of like seen her way out while this is all happening.
Yeah, you know the route, you know your way out, and you can head up that ladder, up round through the back of the clinic. And you are back in the clinic, and it's almost as if it's the same place you left it. It's buzzing. You've got all of your sort of helpers, nurses and doctors in place. They all seem to be just doing what they were doing. What would you like to do?
Gosh, what was that woman's name? Gretchen? Was Gretchen her name from season 1?
I believe so.
I feel like Gretchen really became a second in command after everything because who do we trust more than the one who helped come up with the cure for the cold? So she'll go hunt down Gretchen.
Yeah, you can see her showing out what looks to be a young patient and their mother, and she looks up and she sort of waves goodbye to them and says, "Oh, where have you been?"
Has there been any strange weather patterns in this district?
No, it's been raining 2 o'clock, as per usual. We thought we felt a slight shake earlier. It was really weird, but I guess it's one of the pipes rupturing or something.
It wasn't, Gretchen. It rained at 5 p.m. in the Blue District, followed by a great rumbling that knocked over buildings.
What?
Dot's going to just do this and lead her over to a computer and look up and see if there's any news in the Blue District of what happened.
There is absolutely no news at all.
I don't understand. It was raining at 5 p.m. in the Blue District. Something shook.
I believe you. I completely believe you. So what was it?
I can't describe it. It was the ground itself was shaking for no reason. There was lightning, electricity streaking through the sky when it was raining, followed by this like booming noise.
That sounds like you're describing the world then.
I think that's exactly what I'm describing, Gretchen.
We had nothing here.
Well, it's because the clinic is gone there. Everyone packed up and left without telling any of us.
What, they're gone? I've been sending stuff there.
Nothing is there. No one is there. They said they went to other districts. I have no idea where they are exactly.
Huh. Well, okay, what do you want me to do?
Pick a small team of people you trust and send them that way. Keep an eye out. Prepare for worst case scenario. I'm going to try and figure this out before it happens here, but I don't know. If you can get in contact with any of the Blue District, try and see where they went.
Yeah, it's Jennifer I have in contact over there for that, I think. Jennifer, just, yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer.
I'll try. I mean, I can send Liz and some of the others down there, but I'll pack up an emergency kit, as it were, and I'll send them down there, because if what happened, well, if what you say happened, then I'm guessing there's going to be some people that aren't feeling great.
Well, I fell through a pit down nearly 500 feet, and if it weren't for the piping, I would be dead right now. So yes, I'm sure people are feeling pretty worse for wear.
You felt... Why?
Because a very large building fell into the remnants of what the clinic was, and a hole opened up underground, and I slid very far.
You're okay, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, let me get this sorted. I'll get a few things up. I will travel with them, but just so I know they're set up, and then I'll come back. Unless you want me to stay there, I can stay there if you prefer.
Call me when you find out what happens, and we'll go from there. Gretchen, do you remember what happened a year ago?
Well, yeah, you were really sick.
I think this is connected.
We haven't had anything like that in, well, a year.
It's the same people.
But the OTC shut down.
It's more than the OTC, Gretchen.
But the OTC has control of everything. There's new people in there now. They were prosecuting, you know, even the Keepers of the Peace came out.
I don't know, but just keep an eye out and don't trust anyone. Just be smart.
Standard.
Don't get hurt. As soon as I find out what's going on, I'll let you know, but try and save as many people as you can. There's an entire building there called Screen Care with thousands of children inside.
So, okay, then if there's children there, then we need to get there as quickly as possible. Okay, and you just see her sort of point over to a couple of people and just be like, Liz, with me. And she sort of goes to set up what seems to be assigning people new jobs and sort of doing everything you would do, but she's following your command.
She's become the Dot a year ago for the matron. So with that, Dot is going to kind of step with a few people, kind of like, you know, press their hands on their arms, like wish them good luck for their journeys, be safe, don't die, save as many as you can, etc. You know, go to a few people who are staying, saying I'll be in the district. Try not to need me, but if you need me, call. And then she'll step out and see what the rest of her party is doing.
What is the rest of the party doing at this point?
I did what Dot told me to do, and I called my mom.
You can call your mum, and it rings. After a few calls, it does get through. And you say, hi, honey. Yeah, is everything okay? I'm just in the middle of something. And you can hear, like, you know that sound when someone leans their cheek to the phone against their shoulder, and you can hear it slightly muffled.
Yeah, is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm trying that baking thing Soren showed me.
Oh, okay. I won't bother you too long then, but you didn't feel like the ground shaking, no collapsed buildings, everything's cool here?
What? Yeah, no, we're all good here, sweetie. I mean, I think apparently one of the pipes must have ruptured down in the lower levels, but that's about it. That's what your father said anyway.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, something about movement. I don't know.
Does he know something from work?
Apparently there was a slight tremor or shaking, but not even enough to knock over like his mug of coffee, so it can't have been anything too bad.
Right.
It's happened loads of times. Probably just one of the pipes.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. I'm glad that all's good. And the cafe is okay? We're back in the district, by the way.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, cafe's fine. In fact, I'm trying to make this for this, but I'm going to see how edible it is by testing it on your father before I put it up for sale.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Let me know if he eats it and or gags.
Okie dokie. And she just sort of like hangs up.
I'll turn to Soren. So, Mom has the cafe well in hand, apparently, but apparently nothing shook here, and it felt like a small disturbance that happens all the time.
This is interesting. We are not that far from the Blue District. 4 hours for that sort of catastrophe is not far.
Okay. This is going to sound weird. What if that was really pointed at us? That's really localized.
There is a chance if I can do what I can do, I'm sure someone can open up a hole in the ground for us.
Wait, like someone trying to kill us?
Yeah.
Remember
It's not really that unusual.
Soren puts a hand on JD's arm, remembering her therapy sessions.
Okay, yes, JD starts breathing just to be sure. She's kind of processing, but she's doing okay so far.
It's entirely possible that someone targeted us. I mean, if this woman can travel through time or do what she does, then opening up a hole into the ground.
It's not like that's a bad one. Come on.
No. And Soren says, it is entirely possible if there has been time travel, as it has been referred to. We don't know what we are dealing with. Future, present, past.
For all we know, it could have been a trap laid there by someone who knew we were going to be there. Nothing magic about it at all, just someone ready for us.
I mean, we were at screen care for a while. We may not have been that subtle. They may have figured it out.
Damn it, Rebecca reported.
Commentary.
Rebecca has it out.
I knew we should have killed her.
Blame
No.
Rebecca.
Hashtag blame Rebecca.
Blame Rebecca.
Yeah.
Hey, Zel, do you have a comm I can borrow? I was supposed to try to call my mom.
Yeah, I still have mine, and I'll reach over to my left arm and just pull off the comm that's sitting by the watch that I have and hand it to Artie.
Okay. Is there any reason you don't want me to use this to call the OTC?
I mean, other than no, I don't. I have no
Okay.
problem with the OTC, or they have no problems with me, I should say.
Okay. Yeah, I should just call them.
You
Okay.
And I'm no, I mean, this is totally weird. I haven't talked to my mom in a year, and I mean, she's not technically my mom, and we haven't spoken at all since all the other arties were destroyed. I'm definitely going to. I don't want to do this by myself.
Yeah, JD is very attentive about this. Like,
So,
lingering close by, hovering a bit.
yeah, so I mean, we're here. I don't think there's anything we can really expose to the OTC that they don't know about. I mean, they've got to know there's a spaceship because they've been down here. So there's not very much risk, right? I mean,
Oh, right. She did threaten to, I think, kill us if we didn't let you out of the ship.
right? Yeah, she was just going to kill all of you. I mean, yeah, she's not at all pleasant. This is not something I'm worried about it, but it's
and you feel Soren's hand just sort of hover and rest lightly on your shoulder, the other side of you.
Yeah, thanks, Soren. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. I mean, it's not gonna be fine. Okay, I'm just gonna make the call.
And it rings and almost immediately is picked up. And you hear a man's voice the other end. It's like, hello, who is this? This is David Mitchell speaking.
Hi, this is Artie Chen.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Chen. What can I help you with?
I was calling for my mother.
She has been incarcerated for a time for the issues at the OTC. You will have to make an appointment if you wish to talk to her.
Okay, can I do that now?
No. You have to come to the office.
Which office is that?
The OTC.
So she's in OTC jail?
She is under our protection.
Okay. And where do I go to the OTC? Just the normal.
You grew up in the OTC, correct?
Right. Do I go through the normal door or do I go to the secret door?
Please report to whatever door you find fitting. We know you will be coming.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ask if we're okay. Can we come?
Can I bring other people and robots with me?
And there's a long pause, and you can hear like they're talking to someone in the background. As long as you all register and all robots are scanned, this should not be a problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. If you have any more queries, please come straight to the desk at the OTC and we will help you with your problems. Thank you. Goodbye. And it hangs up.
Okay, that was on speaker the whole time. Was that weird?
No, that was a bit weird. That was definitely a bit weird.
Yeah, the mom in jail thing was a little bit weird.
Well, and they sounded kind of, I don't know, robotic? It's not a bad thing. It makes me wonder what their protocol is.
Yeah, that sounded like a keeper of the peace, but also like maybe they were like they have their own keepers of the peace.
Right.
I guess I never thought about the fact that the OTC has its own keepers of the peace.
I think that if we go, we need to be prepared for anything.
I can just go by myself if you guys want. That is asking a lot.
No, No, you don't
are-
need to do this by yourself.
Yeah, we're absolutely not letting you go in by yourself on this one.
You said you wanted people with you.
Yeah, but that's a lot of registering and
No
scanning.
take backsies.
All right.
So
All right.
it is best for you to have companions on this trip. We don't know what could happen.
Yeah, I mean, just a reminder that they will probably know who all of you are and may have photographs of you. And I'm pretty sure Vestal did that teleporting onto a car thing out in front of the OTC.
Yes. Yes, they did.
Then they will already have the information and have done nothing with it yet.
Yeah.
As far,
Mystery
yeah.
have our photographs too. Honestly, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, at this point, I'm not that concerned about what the OTC has on me.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Is your mother not likable then?
No, not at all. I mean, you met her briefly, mostly when she was threatening everyone's lives.
I feel like the best memory of that woman is what, when her back got cut off?
Mm.
It's all
She
Dot's
wasn't,
got
I
on
was
this
going
one.
to say she wasn't really with it though at that point.
So I think that's like Dot's only memory really of this woman.
And Soren is just like, I remember her in the ship.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the one that sticks with me for a while too.
And you actually see almost like a twitch. Unpleasant woman, not to be rude.
Yeah, no, that's accurate.
And I understand she dislikes robots.
Yes, that's also fair. Yeah, she doesn't understand the need for machines to think.
Good to
Pretty
know.
much like, yeah, I think pretty much like children. Doesn't want children to think either. Same thing.
How unfortunate for her. And Sora starts to just sort of... It's almost like she doesn't shut down, but she's thinking. And are you doing this? Have you left the ship? Have you sort of emerged back into the city?
Where can Dot find you guys? She's not here. She's just wait. Where can I find you?
I don't think we left the room yet.
No, I think you all started chatting.
So you hear click, click, click. An irritating tap as you walk, as the metal steps are being stamped on as she comes to find all of you. Are we having another movie night, guys? We just chilling in here? World's ending?
No, we're having phone calls. Artie doesn't have a watch.
I did make it with Coil, and they broke my comm.
Yep.
Well, the storm didn't hit here. I'm guessing your family's told you that?
Yeah. My dad actually seemed to think it was fairly routine. The slight shaking that they had in the ground, like it's something that happens often?
Like a pipe burst.
Like a pipe burst. Exactly like a pipe burst. And the OTC is being weird about Artie's mom being in jail, but hey.
I'm sorry, she's in what?
What's new? Yeah. She's apparently in jail.
So what's the plan there? What did come up?
Yeah, I told them that I would be coming to see my mom in OTC jail and that I might be bringing some people and robots with me.
Like the one with the knife arms that will get noticed as soon as they scan them?
Right. But I mean, I don't know what they're going to do about that.
They
Keepers
will
of the...
not let me into the jail.
They will probably try and shut them down.
Maybe Coil shouldn't go.
I mean,
the knives turn into paddles, or are the paddles and knives separate? Can you?
They are two separate functions, depending on the level of de-escalation that is required.
Yeah, that will be an immediate find on a scan. Especially the fact that, we're walking in with guns.
Do we have to bring guns?
No, I just wanted to remind everyone that we did have guns on us.
But we
That was
are
actually
going to
a
go.
very good reminder. Thank you. JD pulls hers out.
Mine is at the bottom of the swimming pool in the Blue District.
Bummer.
I don't think everyone should go in. Or if we do, I think some people should break in the other way.
You want to break into the jail at the OTC?
No, just get into the OTC to the other location and wait in case anything happens. That way we don't have to be scanned in.
Artie cannot go in alone.
No, I'm going with Artie, and Soren, I know you might want to Vestal. Coil, your de-escalation tools are a bit tricky. They won't love that.
I don't need to go into the jail. I don't know that I have any place in this conversation. There are other things that I could be doing that would be more useful to the group.
Okay, yeah, that would be wonderful. I guess I don't want you to feel left out or like you're not needed because you are.
I'll stay with Coil.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want to ask weather questions?
I'm sure I could do that if Dot briefs me.
Okay, so we need to find out any information on Dawn, Telemachus, Screen Care, the filters that keep the storms and the regular weather from coming in. We need to know what information she knows about any of this world-ending information. Please be aware of the amount of guards and cameras around when you ask certain questions of these, because you, again, don't know it's the OTC.
You're definitely talking to JD and Vestal about that, right?
I'm addressing the crowd and seeing who receives the information. Please be safe. Me and Coil and I can wait, and whoever else decides, me and Coil can wait by the back entrance of the OTC. If there's an emergency, one of you can calm us. We will come in there, knife arms blazing. But that way we're close. Someone still has weapons. If there's an emergency.
Yeah, I'd appreciate y'all being nearby.
And just try and find out what you can find about Screen Care. 2 time travelers. Don't mention time travel. And the filtration system.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
Do we go now?
Yeah, we need to.
Okay.
Right. Pick up on the way.
Noodles?
Oh God, we haven't eaten in so long.
It's been a really long time. And my stomach growls really loudly too.
All right. Quick stop at the clinic. We have plenty of protein bars.
The noodle guy's in the way.
Yeah, we have the noodle.
Absolutely no more noodle stops. We will get the high protein. We have specifically designed ones to go without meals for multiple days. We are not stopping for noodles. The last time that happened.
Soren, order pickup from the noodle guy.
I am going to...
Ordering pickup, and her eyes sort of go green.
Soren, stop it right now. I swear to God.
I'm putting both my hands on Dot's shoulders. Dot.
No! Vestal, you have to understand why this is a bad idea. We don't have time.
Scheduled
Okay, but
for pickup in 15 minutes.
See, we're just gonna pick it up on the way. Stopping for noodles is not gonna trigger another world-ending earthquake.
Extra vegetables for Vestal.
Thank you.
See?
Dot's gonna scrunch up her face at Vestal and then turn her head to Soren, face still scrunched. Turn her head to JD, face still scrunched.
It's on the way. It'll take just as long as getting protein bars. Let's go.
I ordered your favorite.
Ordered your favorite.
Is it possible for me to have noodles as well?
Good question, Coil.
You can try.
I would like noodles.
Then we shall try. You can try some of mine.
I do kind of look at Coil's faceplate, which as far as I understand is flat.
Yeah, it's totally flat.
Just curious.
Just mush it onto your face.
Yeah.
Then, shall we? And Soren starts to walk towards the ladder up towards Eden.
Oh yeah, for sure. JD's already on the move. Just Dot is glaring, and that burns your shoes a bit.
She's hangry.
That's what it is. And
I've lost all authority on my cats. You all are worse than Bash.
And yeah, look, I was gonna say you've insulted Bash now. Soren, as she sort of comes up through the entrance of the ship, as she walks again, it's that same movement as she sort of clanks down and folds out into a bike. And Dot, you also know that there are some bike stops along here. As the air has gotten just that little bit better down here, more and more things from the higher levels are coming down to the lower.
All right, we'll grab a bike. We will pick up the noodles. We will eat them on a park bench outside of the OTC, and then we will go into the OTC. You have 7 minutes to finish your noodles. That's all the time I'm giving you.
I will not need 7 minutes, as hungry as I am.
You all act like you haven't gone 4 days without eating before. And Dot does one of these motions, she just does it all the time, and she goes over to get some bikes.
All right, let's go.
And Soren is just sort of flashing as she's folded out into this bike. Estimated time to noodles, 6 minutes.
How are we traveling, travelers?
JD grabs Artie for Soren.
It's just the two of them.
Yep.
Question, is Coil going to run again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I need a bike, so I'm just gonna run. I'm very fast.
Okay. Soren sort of sends you the map out details and looks at you and says, he moves frequently. You must keep up.
The noodle boy?
Correct.
You would like me to intercept the noodle boy?
JD, I don't understand the question.
No. Coil will pick up noodles and meet you at the OTC. Can you put that in your map?
I will not seek out the noodle boy.
We'll pick up the noodles and meet you at the bench outside the OTC.
Yes.
See you there.
Imagine this poor noodle boy who's just like on his bike.
Just paddles as this thing flies out of nowhere.
Noodle boy!
Takes out his little hover cart with
I swear to God, if another group of noodles gets ruined.
just an eruption of noodles over on the
Oh,
lower
Dot
level.
just glares at everyone.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Then we'll have to go back to the clinic and eat the high protein bar. So it'll be terrible. We don't need that.
It'd be so sad.
I would start believing that like some force in the world had something against noodles at that point, or something against us.
Hello, Raiders.
Hi, welcome Raiders. Don't let the noodles get destroyed,
That's right.
or the world that too.
Eat the noodles.
And all of you can see Coil effectively take off, start running, just sprinting up these roads, and then start climbing parts of the buildings as they can climb up the levels higher and higher, disappearing up amongst this just all of these hover cars and bikes sort of almost meshing together. And you feel Soren sort of start to move as she knows where she's going and takes off.
Did JD ride with Soren and Artie, or did she stay behind with Vestal and I?
I think JD got on the bike as well.
Okay, I just wanted to know because if she didn't, I was going to ask quite pointedly why didn't she ride with Soren, because I was really confused for a moment.
You know how to drive one of these things, right?
Oh, very well.
Okay, I'm going with you then. I mean, I can't drive one, so there's no point in me picking up a different bike.
That's a good point. Dot will pull out the sky bike with the one helmet and give it to Vestal. Does not put on a helmet herself because she's a fucking child. She's like, I don't need it. I know how to ride a sky bike.
Yeah, I will put the helmet on and jump on the back.
Were you two going to the OTC with Coil, or were you following with the noodles?
I am not following with the noodles. I think this is a bad idea.
Okay, then you can race up towards the OTC.
And
Noodles are a bad idea, but splitting the party 3 ways is a better idea.
Dot is driving slightly aggressive in her frustration. She's very fast. It's like that friend in high school who says, like, look how great a driver I am, and then drives 90 miles per hour in a 60. And you think you're going to die the whole time, but you make it there safely.
Yeah, Vestal's holding on for dear life. It's okay.
Maybe that's the real reason why she's doing it.
I know.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine.
Sorry, I just sent Renee a message. You whiz off towards the OTC, and as you're going, you can see Coil effectively leaping up these buildings, not really necessarily taking care to always use the sidewalks as they are. And soon, JD, Artie, and Soren, you can see this very sort of awkward hover cart with an awning over it, with the noodle guy there with all of these like big frying pans and woks going as he sort of sees you incoming, and he's like, JD, long time no see.
I know, it's been so long. We were so hungry. We ordered for pickup.
Yep, yeah, no, I've got that, hang on. And he starts like picking up like these packets to find names.
You are a lifesaver.
And he starts, as you sort of pull up, as Sora moves right beside the cart, you can take these bags off of him, and he's just like, and extra vegetables, and starts like holding them out to you.
Perfect. I'll kind of keep them sorted so that I know which one's which. Just be like, we'll try not to let it go so long before we come by again. This really is our favorite stop, right, Soren?
Correct. And you see the noodle guy looks at you and goes, oh, hey, Soren, and just sort of like gives a little wave and almost like a pat to Soren. And as he does, you see this Wizmo come out and just try and swipe at this hand that comes and touches Soren.
Sorry.
It's fine. And then looks back at Artie. He's like, "You're Artie, right?"
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were talking to RT.
That has a name. And again, there's another like swipe out as he says that.
All
Yeah,
of our
robots
robot
have
families
names.
names.
Welcome to the academy.
So maybe I'll come by to your cafe one time. I need to do that.
You should. We'd love to have you.
And he smiles. He's like, "Right, I've got to set off and do the next lot." And you just sort of, you see them almost push like this lever as the engine starts moving again very slowly compared to all the other sort of things moving here, and he starts to drift off.
We've got to get your noodles to some very hungry people. See you next time.
And he just holds up a
Hopefully
hand.
before 2 weeks.
Hopefully. What's happening in 2 weeks? As he sort of disappears off. And
Life.
life. And Dot and Vestal, you can land outside the OTC, and Coil, very soon afterwards, you can climb up and you reach the higher level. And Dot and Vestal, you can see Coil running towards you.
The most inconspicuous of robots.
I'm very fast. People don't even know I hit them.
Wait, were you hitting people?
No. I put my paddles away.
Grab my paddling.
And as you three stand together, and as Artie and JD are on Soren, sort of, you can see the OTC ahead as it comes sort of into view, and you can see Dot and Vestal and Coil running towards them. There's a breeze, and for a moment,
I told you not to get noodles. I said this.
there is no sound. Everything stops. All the cars, all the bikes, everything. Everything stops. And you can see the people looking up and around, sort of looking a bit confused. And you can see Lucy's face pop up on the screen. That "be good, be kind," the same thing played every day, still played. And then it flickers. And there's like a static. And the sound comes in, and then it drifts away again. It's not making much sense. As you notice, every screen around you starts doing the same thing, this static. And a face seems to be trying to come through. And it distorts and it whirs. And it's a face you recognize. And you hear that voice. "I'm sorry I didn't call. I'm back. This was a triumph. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere with you right now." And it's almost if for a second the face leans in. "Even though you broke my heart and killed me,
Dot's gonna fall to her knees.
I'm still alive. But I have experiments to run. There's research to be done." And it leans a little bit closer. "On all of those who are still alive. I feel fantastic. And when you're dead, I'll still be alive. I'll still be alive." As Adam Watson's face leans back and smiles. And you could swear it looks down at all of you and gives you a wink. Turns around, walks away. And that's where we will leave Eden this week. And I think Renee's frozen again, very much like the first time.
I knew it was gonna happen. I've been waiting for this whole time.
I knew as soon as you said a space.
It still hurts. I've been so worried.
Breathe, Bree.
I can't.
Breathe.
I was not. Oh my god.
I swear to God. Also, it's so nice. You know, Dot's getting all these lovers now.
Can heck off.
Oh no, Alice, why?
Do you
There
remember
are
when we said at the start that Alice was going to target me now? This is how she does it.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Is everyone okay though? Just because otherwise it was quite a cute session.
Oh.
Oh, good. Oh, goody golly gee.
Golly gee indeed.
Yeah, I'm actually fine.
So, yes, Hans.
No, it's good.
No,
It's good. I'll wait my turn.
no. I was about to wrap up.
No, I will save my conspiracy theories. It's okay. I can save myself for 2 seconds here.
Okay.
Wait, we all saw that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole of Eden saw that.
Wow, it's weird how screen children are showing up on screens.
It's not evergreen. And other than that, chat and the wonderful players here, I'd love to hear whether you want to scream into the void, whether you want to discuss theories, whether you had a favorite bit. You can scream about the new ships, apparently, in the Discord. I'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear it. But please follow all of these wonderful, wonderful people. And please check out all the links in chat. A big special thank you to our wonderful sponsors who we could not do this without, in the form of Bird in the Storm and also Mage Hand Press. Other than that, come back next week. Yes, Renee, go for it.
And Edenfall.
And Edenfall, I'll leave that to you. You go and jump on that.
Edenfall is the adaptation of this show as an audio drama, and it is currently casting open auditions. This whole cast will be reprising their roles. Alice will be playing a role, Scrat will be playing a role, and we're casting like 22 other roles because I just added one to the script in this game. So it's just the first 4 episodes. It's going to be so good, and we would love people from the Scratticus Academy community to audition and participate and be part of our Eden family. So you can check that out on Twitter at EdenFallCast, and the pinned message there has audition information.
Awesome, thank you. Other than that, love all these people here. Please follow them and check out what they do, and we'll see you next Wednesday and see what happens then. Bye.